Let me share my screen. We are recording, Priya.
Hello, everyone. My name is Priya Patra, and we are back again with something very, very interesting. And this is the talk of the town. I would say everyone talks about AI and everyone talks about DNI. So, can AI help us to improve our DNI? That is that is what we are going to talk today. Promises and perils of AI for DNEI. Thank you for joining today. And Cecilia might have already posted the link on the chat window. And please let us know from where you are joining. Menti.com 5443-8849. And yes, our theme of this year today is Power of One. And we're going to talk a little about our community before we move ahead. Our community is named as Women Power Up Network. We are not a business, but a community with a purpose. What do? Our vision is to empower everyone with the right skills, support, and provide the support and skills to transform the future. Right now we are providing a platform to enhance
the heaviest Amazon package.
Our values are we power up, and being good enough is amazing. We say that when many good enough people come together, we definitely power each other up, and definitely together we rise. We are actually now around 863 members who are part of our different groups on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, and we continue to grow, all because of the support of our partners. We have Agnostic Agile as our community partner, Agile in Education USA. Scrum Day London 2023 was our partner too. A couple of PMI chapters who have been supporting us, Buenos Aires, Argentina chapter and Slovenia chapter. IAPM, G100 PM officers are all our community partners. Our tech partner is We Are Ready Now. Thank you, We Are Ready Now for providing us with this platform for hosting our webinars. Yes, what did we do for Power of One? So we started with our first collaborative article, AI and DNEI. So how can how can diversity and AI work together? And this is an article which has global perspectives of women from all across the globe, precisely from multiple continents coming together and working on this very, very interesting topic, AI and DNEI. And the visual representation of the key takeaways are here, which has been done by Anita. Anita, if you are there, please pat yourself on the back. You've done a great job. And over to you, Grace, for the panel discussion. But yes, before I hand over the stage, let me introduce Grace. Just give me a second. I will stop sharing. Are you able to see my screen, or did I stop share? Okay, all right. So Grace is our Africa lead, and she is a very, very passionate and a very, very adaptive personality. She says that she had a career journey of twists and turns, changing career passions from town planning to project management to Agile. She was the lead of the ambassador network of the Agile 20 Reflect Festival. And I think she worked with around 120 countries, nationalities from 120 countries. Am I right, Grace? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah. And yeah, and she was tasked with several responsibility, all geared towards the 20th anniversary of Agile Manifesto. She wishes to do more on Agile knowledge, making it more accessible in her region in Nigeria, and get that Agile conversation going. Her greater goal has been always to add value to whatever she does, and while bringing solution driven in all she does. Over to you, Grace, to take this panel discussion forward.
Thank you so much, Priya. Thank you for the opportunity to moderate this panel discussion. Like Priya said, the Women Lead for Africa, and such a great privilege to be working along exceptional ladies from across the globe. It's been 2 years running for me, and I'm just glad I'm part of this community. Today we'll be talking AI. AI has become one of my passions, in the past year. And so one of my concerns also has been around diversity, equity, and inclusion in Agile, in AI. Sorry, I'm saying Agile because Agile has been in my head for tons of years now. And I remember also doing an article on Agile and diversity and inclusion. I will shortly be introducing the panel of discussants here. They are the star women of today. In fact, they had recently just published an article on AI and DEI. I would just, before I introduce them, I would love you to all celebrate these power women, this world changers and transformers. Please, be it in the comment section or just by a round of applause, just give it up for this exceptional women from across the globe. I'll just give you 30 seconds to do that. I want to see the comment section buzzing with your round of applauses and your emojis, be it love emoji or whatever. Let's just celebrate these women before I even attempt to begin to introduce them and tell you all they've been up to prior to now. What's happening on the comment section? Let's give it up for these women. Oh, great. Thank you so much. Okay, first of all, I will be introducing Aneta Verestrak, right? She is a project manager with over 10 years of experience. She's passionate about sharing the knowledge. She's also learning, confesses that she cannot start her day without a cup of coffee. Managing projects during the standard working hours was not enough for her, and she joined the local PMI local community in 2017. She passed the PMP exam the same year, and in 2020 to 2023, she served as a board member for the PMI Poland chapter. Currently, she's volunteering in the audit committee for PMI Poland. She actively supports the PMI chapter exchange initiative. She's fond of getting to know different cultures and perspectives. She enjoys hiking, playing board games. She's speaker for international conferences and co-author of the book, The Exchange Effect, a virtual journey of cross-country collaboration and co-creation. Hi, Aneta, could you just wave at us?
Hi, welcome.
Good. Yeah, welcome, Aneta. Thank you so much. Next, I will be introducing Mei Ling. Mei Ling is a distinguished project manager with impactful roles at Microsoft and Texas Capital Bank. Mei contributes efficiently in a culture of positivity. Notably, she's a generative AI champion with an A to Z AI 900 certification. She's skilled in leveraging AI technologies like generative AI and Microsoft Copilot to enhance project management. Mei is also the author of Mommy is a Project Manager, where she champions gender equality and inspires future leaders. Hi, Mei, could you wave at us?
Hi, I didn't use generative AI to write my book, so those are real books, just FYI. But if anybody wants to see how to use generative AI to write a book, let me know.
That's a power lady over there. Love you. Thank you so much. Okay. Next, I will be introducing Roshali Bagwat. Roshali is working as a senior manager with Yes Bank Limited in India. She's an engineer, a dynamic learner. She believes in knowledge sharing and teamwork. She's an experienced project implementation manager with expertise in API, that's application programming interface, digital payment products, banking domain. She has certifications in Discipline Agile Senior Scrum Master, Lean Six Sigma Green Belt, Lean Six Sigma Black Belt Certified, ITIL Certified. She's also a member of the PMI Mumbai chapter since 2020. She loves music, reading, networking. She always follows the mantra, arise, awake, stop, not till goal is reached. Rushali, give us a wave.
Hi,
Lovely.
everyone.
Hi, thank you. Next, I will be introducing Johara Salinas. Johara Salinas is a seasoned technologist and agile expert with over 25 years of experience, currently at the forefront of driving innovation and digital transformation initiatives in the banking sector. She actively engages in professional communities such as PMI and Women in Agile Panama. Johara has served on the leadership team of the latter and played a pivotal role in volunteer efforts focused on training programs and project management methodologies for the community. As a dedicated member of the PMI Agile Learning Collaboration Council and contributor to the PMI Advocacy Program, Johara exemplifies her commitment to advancing project management knowledge and practices. She firmly believes in collaboration as a cornerstone of collective success. She devotes herself to advocating for women's education, enabling them to initiate, execute, and sustain new ventures that contribute to financial independence, gender equality, and female empowerment. Johara's professional journey reflects her passion for fostering collaboration, driving innovation, and championing initiatives that empower women in both the professional and entrepreneurial realms. Connect with Johara on LinkedIn. She's just a wonder to behold. Hi, Johara. Could
Hello,
we
everyone.
have a wave from you? Yeah, the smiling Johara. Thank you so much. We're glad to have you join us on this panel discussion. Okay, moving on. I will be introducing Alice. Alice Owora Kuku is a certified Safe 6 Agilist and change practitioner with over 15 years in the banking industry. Her expertise spans business ecosystems, development, partnerships, strategy, business architecture, digital transformation, culture and change management, risk management, and project management. Her interests include artificial intelligence, environmental, social, and governance initiatives, and understanding how design influences enterprise evolution in a dynamic environment. Okay, beautiful Alice. Let's have a wave from you. Did you hear Alice, or was it just me?
Alice, you are muted.
Okay, we can hear you now, Alice. Welcome. Okay, and last but not the least, our beautiful Alejandra Nazar. Alejandra is a devoted advocate for self-sufficiency and justice. She enriches lives through her expertise in project management and international standards, with a background in architecture and a master's in project management. She champions effective methodologies and high-performing team dynamics across diverse cultural landscape. As a pioneering Honduran woman in project management, she contributes to global initiatives, fostering growth and innovation. Ale, she's fondly called. Could we have a wave from you and say hi to the audience?
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Beautiful, power. Yeah. Exceptional ladies we have here. Thank you so much for the article. It's enriching, most especially the case studies. It was just a refreshing read, going through all of them from Europe to Asia to Africa. It was refreshing, and even to Latin America, particularly like all of them. There was none. It was really, really insightful to read, and I think it will set part of the stage for our discussions here. And so I would like to begin to pose each of the questions to all of you in no particular order. I will be asking, okay, who do I start with? Okay, let's start with Alejandra. Could you just give us a brief insight into the case studies from your region as contained in the collaborative article? I was going through it and it was really, really refreshing reading the article. Seriously, I think I shared the article as well on LinkedIn. Could you just give us an insight into the case study and the reports around the UNESCO reports that was contained in the article so that we could set the stage for this discussion?
Thank you, Grace. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me here. I want to talk a little bit about Latin American and then I'm going to pass it on to Yohara because she was the main writer of the Latin American part. I just want to highlight one of the differences or one of the nice things we have in Latin America is that we have different areas or different groups of ethnical people, right? So some of the case studies were aligned into knowing how we can change the world of these people, you know, bring in AI and bring in all this technology to their life without taking away their essence or their culture, because in that case studies we have different issues. We have issues with generational differences, because elderly would like to, you know, keep their culture, but like the young people want to be hip and want to be in advance with technology. So we don't want to break the respect that we have within these cultures because of a new technology. And I'm going to pass it on to Yohara because she has a really interesting case study about bringing internet into the communities. That is one of the first steps if you want to introduce technology into an area. So thank you.
Yeah, Alejandra, and that's very important. One of the many things that the studies that I read said is that the first thing that we need to do in our region, and maybe it's not the same as the other region, is the access to the use of AI needs to be prioritized. And why the access? Not so many of our regions have access to internet. And like Alejandra was saying, I was involved through my husband with a project here in Panama where we took the internet to a very remote region so then we can have all the native people that live in that region first have access to internet, and then second start getting all the information from their culture, language, and everything that they have in their community. Increase all the data that the AI applications in Panama and in the region use. That's the first thing in common that we have in all regions in Latin America. The poor or sometimes inexistent digital infrastructure that we have in the area really poses significant obstacles to ensure that the advantage of the AI is really accessible to all, and that we also start decreasing the amount of discrimination maybe that sometimes we have, even ignorance, because we don't have access to the information, and people will not know about these communities or any other type of ethnical differentiation, because the access to those communities, to the internet and AI application is not really available.
Well, thank you so much for that insight. It was well highlighted, I think, in the article and the UN UNESCO report. Thank you so much, Leander and Johara, for that. I would jump to Aneta. So it was such an interesting read to see two articles from the European region, especially around the AI Act, and then moving on to the EU AI Act, the whole criticism and yes, the whole risk highlighted there. Could you give us more insight around the article that was shared in your general article? Thank you.
Yes, thank you also in the beginning. Thank you for inviting me to this amazing panel. And indeed, Grace, as you mentioned, I wrote about case study related to regulating AI in Europe. Actually, EU AI Act is the first comprehensive law on artificial intelligence by a major regulator that is aiming to establish harmonized rules for the development, placement in the market, and use of AI within the European Union. And in the case study, I presented the paper regulating AI in Europe, 4 problems and 4 solutions. For that 4 problems and 4 solutions, I would like you to go to the article to find more details. And here, I would like to use this opportunity and tell you a little bit more about the EU AI Act, what that is, what's the purpose. So the purpose of that is to ensure proper functioning of the EU single market by setting consistent standards of for AI systems across EU member states. I would like you to imagine EU AI Act as a kind of big book of rules to keep AI systems safe and fair for everyone to use in Europe. In our article, we talk about representativeness, about AI being fair for everyone. So, for example, let me maybe give you some examples. So, if a robot or AI system helps doctors make diagnoses in hospitals, this rule book wants to make sure it gives the right advice and doesn't accidentally hurt patients. Also, it says, the AI EU Act, that some things like using facial recognition to track people without their permission are not allowed because they can invade people's privacy. So to make sure that everyone follows the rules, that there are people in charge to keep AI systems safe and fair, and they are being used correctly and safely. So by implementation of AI EU Act, we will make sure that companies and people who make these smart algorithm machines are doing it in the right way. So in simple words, EU AI Act is like a big book of rules to keep AI systems safe and fair for everyone. Nevertheless, it is not that beautiful in the end, because this act is being criticized that because of its risk-based approach, it might happen that it will suppress innovation in Europe and the talent related to developing AI systems will move away out from Europe. So I hope that I encouraged you to deep dive into this case study. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aneta. Succinctly put. Thank you so much. I'll be moving now to Rushali. The article from India, especially that spoke on this company's adoption of DEI and helping enhance DEI within its organization. It was like a bold step they had to take to do what it did. Could you give us an insight into this pharmaceutical company's venture into trying to improve DEI within its working space? Thank you.
Yeah. So first of all, thank you for inviting me for this panel discussion, and very happy International Women's Day to all women who are attending this session and who are out there all over the world. Yes, so in area of AI, Asia has progressed a lot. There is a vast amount of data available. The regulation is being stepped in from the parts of countries like Singapore. Then China has their regulatory act on AI. India is still developing, but yes, India has started giving the regulation over the AI use in financial sector as well as in various sectors wherever applicable. And yes, we have the automation right from the agriculture to the last person. The plan has been developed to get the AI at the forefront and get benefited to all. So the article also talks about various moments which are taken to bring up the women portion at the equal quantity as of men. AI for women is the initiative which is taken place in India specifically to encourage women participate in AI initiatives and give their equal opportunity. Also, we have case studies included in the article, which tails into the pharmaceutical industry. So AI in Asia has reached to every sector. And yes, indeed, a lot of work is needed to progress in a very healthier manner and get benefited to every last person of the continent.
Thank you so much. I think at the end of the article, it was also stated that there was really such a great improvement in the proportionality between men and women in the company in question. Thank you so much for your contributions. I will move on to Mei-Ling. Could you give us some insights around the case studies within Asia? Thank you.
Yeah. So in Asia, particularly, the study was taking place in pharmaceutical company, okay, where the proportion or DEI aspect was not perfectly taken care of. And when person in the pharmaceutical company studied the DEI and implemented it, the results were so promising that it enhanced companies' output plus the productivity of the entire company has grown. And that was so promising that including AI and DI aspects to give a enhancement or to raise up the productivity in companies and the proportion of women, men, equality chances for the for also the disabled person or differently able person, that is what included in the pharmaceutical case study, which is included in the article. I would request everyone to go through the case study.
Thank you so much, Rishali. That question was actually for me, but thank you for interjecting.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Grace.
It was good to hear another, perspective from you. May, over to you. Yes. So within your context, give us an insight into the whole AI and DEI dynamics. Thank you.
So with the research, you can see there are a lot of the AI developer, they are still male dominant, and male, not only male dominant, always like a very focused on like a Caucasian male dominant in that field. So how about the voice of the Black male? How about the voice of Asian female? What is the gender equality in there? How many like people in the older, like elderly, they are part of that, of the development of the AI. There are many application is talking about using AI to go through your interview process, right? To see how you feel confident, how your eye contact, how you structure your question, and with the word of the choices. Oh, those AI, if we don't have enough strong developer from all races, all gender, and all colors, we will have a question about, will AI be a real equalizer? And in our research, we did have that study from other company to say, hey, their AI developer is majorly like 60%, 70% male. Then will female be looked as a weaker? Well, the way female thinking will have a lower score. So that is one of the big concerns. That's why women in technology, or even we are not the coder, how can we make our voice to be heard? I think that's why project manager, when you are in this project, when you are in the AI development project, making sure raising that concern, because when you live on that concern, people can pay attention and we can really make AI an equalizer and really we can be authentic, our true self. Thank you.
Thank you for highlighting that, Megan. Thank you so much for highlighting that. Really important when it comes to gender and races, the equalizer within the AI space. Alice, I will go over to you now. I remember from the article, you quoted I think that was you writing, you talked about the regulatory environment and the policy gaps within Africa that really don't facilitate the adoption of AI and really creativity and innovation within the AI space. How can this equalizer, how can we really make an equalizer bring an equalizer between DEI and then even talking around the regulatory kind of framework and the policies, how do we equalize this dysfunctionality in Africa? Thank you. Sorry, Alice, I don't know. I don't think it's just me. We can hear you.
No, we can't hear you, Alice. No, we can't hear you.
Yeah. Thank you. So one of the things that I really believe is consultative discussions happening across board, not just one particular, let's say, ministry or department. It's really just looking across board and bringing key stakeholders together, just to first of all help them understand how AI is taking shape globally. And that's why I'm excited to be part of this discussion, because you get to hear different insights from everywhere else and you're able to see how does it take shape in Africa. Now, in Africa, we've seen that the people who are deep in tech, like May mentioned, I mean, they're male dominated. So if the women don't speak about, what their interests are, what their needs are, if the older generation don't speak about what their needs are, then they are not represented in the discussions. And when policy comes into play, it will definitely have implications for how their life evolves. So I believe that consultation that needs to happen across board needs to happen almost immediately. So in Africa, what I've seen happening is that the discussion seems to be more around, the ICT ministry, or it's happening with the legal associations, but you don't really see that getting across to all the other industries. We've seen AI really taking shape in the health sector, but you don't hear the voices of the health professionals when it comes to Africa. And that's what we want to hear more, so that we get a lot more representation. Thank you, Chris.
So much, Alice. Thank you, all of you. As all of them have highlighted, there are really gaps, especially when it comes to race, gender, the whole DI dynamics, the whole regulatory framework, the risk involved. One way we can also support women and also ensure our voices are heard is you go quickly to the Women PowerUP Network page on LinkedIn and ensure you share the article by this wonderful and exceptional ladies, even while we are right here still discussing around AI and DEI. Thank you very much. Yeah, and if you could please just make the link available on the chat, anyone from the Women PowerUP Network, so we have people sharing and talking about it. This is really groundbreaking.
It's already there on the chat.
Now moving.
It's already there on the chat. May has done it already.
Oh, beautiful. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, moving on. Right. Each of you have actually raised issues around the whole AI dynamics and DI within your region. So I will still go around and begin to ask. I know one of the big issues around AI has been the bias around the data that is fed into the model, right? And the risk it poses, the bias around race, the bias around gender, and all of that. I know one model that was actually launched on Twitter and how we went bonkers, emulating the data that was really fed around it from the comments and started going racial, and the creators had to put it down. So I will be asking you this question, right? Given the risk and the criticisms of the article that was mentioned, in what ways do you think this regulation, the EU AI Act, that will soon be coming on board, can really, speak to the dynamics of the bias around data and the models created? Thank you.
Thank you, Grace. I think that it's a very difficult case, difficult question. What I heard quite recently in one of the events about AI was that if you input garbage in AI system, you will get garbage out. And that really struck me because it is so true. And it is difficult because, as I mentioned, on one way, we would like to regulate AI systems. On the other hand, it might suppress innovation. So this is, I think, the main issue that we observe in Europe. Nevertheless, if we would like to tackle this regulation attempts, I was thinking we could, like, the more effective approach could be by clear definitions. So establishing precise definitions for AI systems and risk levels that will ensure consistent interpretation and application. Other strategy might be global alignment. So aligning regulations with international standards to facilitate global harmonization and cooperation in AI governance. And also we talk about stakeholder engagement. May already said that developers, male-dominated, right? So in Europe, we observe encouragement of women to apply, to learn artificial intelligence. But stakeholder engagement is also about involving stakeholders into the regulatory process to address their concerns and to also ensure practicality of the solutions and their effectiveness. And last but not least, I would say continuous evaluation. So implementing mechanisms for ongoing evaluation and adaptation of these regulations to keep pace with technological advancements, because they are constantly changing. Thank you.
Thank you, Annetta. Thank you so much. I remember one of the concerns also was, just as you said, was bringing the stakeholders, the creators, the developers, and the deployers into the whole framework of trying to regulate AI within the entire space. Thank you so much, Annetta. Johara, you alluded to the fact that how indigenous peoples, how bringing the innovation to indigenous peoples. So my question would be, right, for creators, for developers of AI models, and even within organizations, we know organizations are really deploying AI into their workflow and how they do business daily, right? How and what would you, imagine you're speaking to them, imagine you're in a boardroom and you're speaking to these big actors. What would you tell them around inclusion and what they should do? Yeah, Power Woman, go on. You have the floor.
I think there are many things to do, and it depends on where you are, because we're not in the same place. Like Anita was saying, in Europe, there might be some type of regulations. In Latin America, we don't have many regulations. Every country is doing whatever they think they need to do. So we're not really on the same page. And thinking about that, what I will start, what I will suggest we should start is first, ensure the representation of many diverse sectors. So then the data that we're feeding in will reflect in all the solutions that these applications are taking out. Anita said something that is real for everything. When you put garbage in, meaning in this case where you don't put anything in, you're not gonna get anything out. So we need to ensure that we have diverse representation. We also need to collaborate with the communities, meaning understanding where they are at, and start to fill in whatever they need to seek input and understanding of the nuances of their considerations or the specific of the region, so that we ensure inclusivity in all the development systems that we have, and so then we could respect their local values. We need to scrutinize the data that is already in and understand that they embrace everything that we need, so then we could start minimizing the bias on the input and the output that we get, and the training data sets start getting less biased than what we could have today. We have to make sure that the algorithms that we're training avoid discrimination, which is sometimes what you have, because the beginners of the people that are including this data have already unconscious bias in what they're doing. So we need to start seeking for that, training algorithms, getting applications that will eliminate that, so then we could ensure that our organizations, and especially our countries, start getting better at what we're trying to embrace with AI and all the applications that we're getting.
Thank you so much, Yohara. Thank you, Power Woman. May, I know you're passionate about the whole disparity in gender in the tech space. Okay, you are also in a boardroom, especially with governments. What would you be saying to the government right now to do as regards the whole AI and gender disparity thing, the whole thing around the data models and how they can be biased to women? What would you be saying to them from a North America perspective?
So when we talk about government, there's a huge difference between federal government, state government, and local government. And they are all in different paces. Then I will say right now, you can see just by the representative of female and the gender, the ratio of those decision makers. Unfortunately, we cannot keep complaining. That is something I will say, how can we really take that step? I know a few project managers, they are very involved with their city government, city council, but that really doesn't impact your landscaping of the AI data. A lot of government, in my opinion, okay, not in the federal government, not in that space, but a lot of like local government, they are actually trying to be away from it, because a lot of government agency, even more conservative constitution, they kind of afraid of AI. When you're afraid of AI, there's no good data in, there's no good forward thinking. I see a lot of CIO from Kansas City, CIO from City of the Carrollton. There are a lot of CIOs very into how can we impact more people, not just women, more people. Everybody from age of the 10 to age of 50, all their employees to embrace AI. But there's an issue with the concern of unknown, the unknown of how they are going to use our data, right? A lot of not trusting, like why Microsoft, if I using AI train my data, when Microsoft, AWS, Google, how they using my data? What those people have access to my data, and how can I verify that, right? Especially the government, nobody wants to be sued. As many people already know, the past 2 weeks, there's a lawsuit about New York Times and sue for Microsoft, right? I'm going to talk about it today at another session, but I say nobody know what AI feature going to be. But I do know a lot of forward-thinking CIO is doing AI policy internally, is have established the AI committee. So I raised my hand at my company. I would like to be the AI committee, even I am not the C-level executive, but I want to be all the voice be represented. I want the project manager voice to be represented. I want they can really think through how we do all the work and how can make the AI landscape into the next level. So Grace, this will be a 3-hour conversation, but I cannot take all the minute from all the amazing lady. But I will say, ladies, when you engaging with any local government, when you engage in your, like a city council member, if they vote on any project, because AI project is not cheap, just so you know. I see the hourly rate for an AI architect. Oh my God, I cannot afford it and I'm in the wrong place. But I love what I do. So how can you be an AI project manager to support the AI architect? They make thousands of dollars, probably millions by their rate. If I calculate they work really 40 hours per week, I'm jealous. But when you want to go to the next level, be the AI project manager to help AI architect, AI engineer to deliver more with less. With your knowledge, your expertise, now is the place we start and be creative. Thank you so much, Grace.
Thank you so much. Your energy is infectious. Thank you.
I have 3 shots of cappuccino.
Yeah, I can't see Leandra. You go on. Oh, is Ali still here? I have a question for her. Alejandra? Yes. Oh.
I think Alejandra left. I don't know.
Yeah, she had to
yes,
leave a little early. It's okay.
yes.
Yeah.
She had to leave because she's traveling.
Yeah, she's traveling.
Okay, good. I love the question around collaboration, and the question would be to Alice, right? So how do we bring policymakers, the orgs and the developers, the creators, different stakeholders, be it the deployers, or I think it's the AI EU Act that, they had to replace users with deployers. So I'm trying to conform to the EU AI Act. Okay, how do we bring the developers, the policymakers, the organizations at the forefront of AI, the big names, and also the deployers in a collaborative kind of mix, right? To help differently abled individuals, right? Deploy, develop and also deploy AI that is beneficial to this segment of.
Thanks, Chris. That's a very interesting question. Typically, where I would start from is to really map out the stakeholders, understand who needs to be in the room so that we get all their input in. And how you get people in a room is in different formats. What we're doing right now is one of the ways that we can actually get people into a room to say, hey, can I get a representative from this sector, from this government agency, from this government department, from the software developers? Can we get representation from even the architects? They also need to be in the room, bring everyone in and have the discussion. Also just being mindful that everyone is at a different level of understanding of AI. So how do you, first of all, gain a common understanding across board so that, you start off with a baseline, knowing very clearly, what is at stake and what needs to be further, fleshed out for everyone else to have, that common alignment when it comes to implementations. So policymakers, as you will know, there are different generations in there. And you'll notice that for most of the greatest policymakers that we have encountered, they are really in the older generation. The younger policymakers are really hard to find. So you have this conflict between the older generational policymakers and new technology, new exciting technology, which the youth seem to be consuming and utilizing, creating new business models, and they can't understand what these young people are all about and what it is that they're doing with this artificial intelligence. Some of them will even claim that these are, this is some sort of witchcraft or demon possession. So it is interesting to see how you bring all those stakeholders together and you help them understand, just from for the basic principles, how do you build it up so that everyone understands it? Once they have the understanding, then it's easy to build up several, the other interesting aspect with the African settings is that people love workshops. So wherever there are workshops, excitement. So bring them up into physical interactions, because then they can ask questions that they would never dare to ask because they are the experts in a room. So they would rather ask them when there's a physical interaction, and then they can get all the answers that they need. It's also important that there are structured programs for all the key stakeholders, whether it's within the organizations, whether it's within the parliament, whether it's judiciary, whether it's government. They all need structured programs so that everyone is moving at the same pace. My experience, for example, here in Africa, is that the techies have really taken hold of the AI revolution, and they are beginning to build very many interesting things. The regulators can't understand it. They're getting away with all the privacy issues that people would typically have. They're getting away with all the consent issues that people would typically have. Why? Because regulation takes a bit of time to catch up with technology. They're still trying to catch up with technology of 2020 or 2019. So this AI that is evolving way faster than they can, imagine. It's quite strange for them. So it will also be important to bring in some of the younger generation into the policymaking institutions, and just give them an opportunity to sit at levels they would ordinarily not sit at, because they have a lot more exposure and experience when it comes to AI. So that would be my answer to that. Thank you.
Grace, could I add something to that?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, Aneta, good. Please go on. Go on.
Thank you, Alice. That was very insightful what you shared. I was also thinking that policymakers should also take into consideration ethics in AI, especially in deployment of AI technologies, to ensure they benefit all individuals. In our article, we talk about gender diversity, about people with different disabilities and with different generations. So on top of what you've mentioned, I would definitely also add ethical aspects. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. It's just heartwarming to have professionals, ladies at the top of their games, doing exceptional thing, and especially innovative technologies. And your discussion has really been enriching, seriously. And it's a great point you brought up, Alice, bridging the gap between the older generation and the younger generation. I feel the battle in Nigeria, especially I'm from Nigeria, and there's been this battle between the younger generation and the older generation. It's almost getting into a war, and I hope we get to find knowledge from what you've discussed here to bridge the gap. Ethics is one big question. I know from the early years of development of AI, ethics has always been the question. How do we catch up with ethics, right? How do we ensure all this creation, development of models are done within an ethical, acceptable in culture A might not be acceptable in culture B. So how do you bring DEI, preaching respect within diversity, creating equity and inclusion around the whole thing? Thank you so much. Rushali, there's so much Asia is doing, I'm aware.
Yeah, certainly.
To bridge the AI gap, the gap between the older generation and the younger generation. Yes, I've seen videos, even in Singapore, I saw a video recently where one of the parliament members was talking about, doing free trainings, the government to sponsor training for people 40 and above. And within the article that was also shared, the report case study within Asia, there were initiatives that were mentioned. Could you give us some insight into those initiatives that are actually involving women around health and also bridging this generational gap in innovation, development, and knowledge? Could you just give us an insight and what can...
Yeah, Grace, correct. You have the correct information about the Asia. I truly appreciate for that. There are various programs going for Asia for women specifically, for young children, young age people. Also, the specific programs are driven for the old age people because we need to mind the gap between the two generations, right? The older generations are not that aware about the artificial intelligence, what it is, how they can use it. So there are tuitions or there are some programs going on for teaching the technology to older people, how they can use it in Asia. And India has come up with the 6 working groups program, a whole directed by electronics industry ministry, sorry, electronics ministry from India. The 6 work groups are deployed in entire India who will look after for the data set, particularly being prepared for India, the regulations which has to bring in for the financial industry, like in banking. For example, I would give you that every new startup which is done by a young generation or by older group will have the regulatory points from the Ministry of Electronics in India, uh, which will give them the perfect platform with regulation, how the data can be presented and how this data can be utilized. Like how Anita said, if garbage is inside, output will be the garbage. So this is what India is particularly doing to look after whether to remove that garbage and to give the exact output which will benefit to everyone. Apart from that, yes, Singapore is running with multi-thread programs for enhancing the use of AI and DEI. The pharmaceutical example was one of it. Also, South Asian countries are collaborating to do many enhancements in AI and DI aspects.
Thank you so much, Roshali. That was really important to state. May, you have a hand raised.
I post a link is actually the Microsoft. Microsoft actually one of the, I love my former company and they do an amazing job. Every year, even the number is shameless, they still publish that. And they were, very proud because I'm prouder than people who are afraid to share. So you can see the graphic. Actually, even females less than 30%. Then look at the Black, 6.7. Look at the Hispanic. I feel really shameful, but I feel, hey, that gives us a really good background to moving forward. And one thing I want to talk about a D&I, and 2 letters missing is belonging and accessibility. So I see we talk about D&I part, but accessibility part, we actually keep emphasize, like, you start putting internet for the elderly, right? The government helping for the youth. How about women? How about stay-home mom? How about the mother have an opportunity actually get out, get back to the workforce? The accessibility right now is the key. Data is a goal. Without the data, without policy, you don't have D&I. But without accessibility, D&I is just a window dresser. So ladies, you can do better. We can all do better. Then how can we move forward for accomplish that together? To really watch out those big companies, watch out the policyholder to be a voice of our generation, our race, and our what we support to.
Yeah, thank you. As Johara said, be fearless, ladies. Be fearless. Yeah. Okay. Priya, do we have any questions from the Google form or from the audience? I'll give this window for anyone from the audience that would like to ask a question to any of these exceptional leaders.
I
Just
don't
with
see
a raise
any
of hand,
yeah.
get your question across to them.
I don't see any question on the chat, but please feel
No
free
question?
to. Yeah, but please feel free to unmute and ask a question if you want to. Audience.
Yes, please.
I think we are too awesome.
To
We
unmute.
answer all the question. That's why they are being like kind of polite. And...
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm a
Okay.
really good peck on my shoulder, peck on my
You're right.
Okay, Grace, you
You're
can
very
continue
right.
with your questions.
Grace, if you allow me, I just wanted
Okay.
to add something that Rochelle was saying with the age gap and stuff.
Please go ahead.
Something that we haven't talked about is the training that we need to do for everyone. Sometimes we think that we're living in a technological age and all that stuff, but because people don't have access to technology and because people is afraid sometimes of technology, a base of all of this is to train them. We need to use the tools that we have already, like UX. I don't know if you are familiar with the user, the UX that we use for all the applications, and we need to apply the basis of UX, knowing everybody's way of accessing and feeling more safe or safer with technology and incorporate all of that there. So then we ensure that the diversity of groups, whether it's an elderly person, whether it's a woman, an indigenous woman, or whether it's a very technological person, could access this type of technology and be more open to include the data, to use the information, so then we could start diversing all of this around every sector. And if we don't train people for that, and if we don't include things like that, we're never gonna get really with everybody, including in the AI systems. I just wanted to share that.
Thank you, Johara. Really, really thank you. It's really important. I'm glad Women Power Up is actually leading a conversation on AI, and especially boldly talking about AI and diversity, equity, and inclusion is really important. I think all of the issues you raise here are pertinent to how we go forward from now, because AI is evolving quickly, and mind you, it's generative AI, as everybody now knows, it's just like one of the bases of the technologies. There are many, many more out there. If we're unable to catch up with the pace of generative AI, I want to roll and roll out into the market. So it's more like a wake-up call. I hope we don't stop just at writing articles, but really doing something, holding conferences and talking to the world, pushing even to the big policymakers and the organizations that are the big creators around AI and all of that. Okay. This is where I begin to ask you all, because we're really running out of collaborating and doing this article, what really struck you or probably stuck to your heart and you would like to share with all of us here. I will start from who?
Grace, there is a bandwidth issue. So if you want, you can switch off your video because we are, at least I was not able to hear well. Yeah.
I was also having some troubles.
Okay.
I think, Grace, you wanted us to share the experience, yes?
Yeah.
I wanted also to come back to what Johara said about training.
Okay.
So also when I heard about ChatGPT, to be honest with you, I was scared of that because that was something new to me. And I heard, especially within our PMI community, that Ricardo Vargas was saying a lot about artificial intelligence and ChatGPT. So as I could see it's getting traction, I just downloaded and started using that. So one thing is training and education, and other thing is also our own curiosity. And because this is a big change, also important is, I think, to learn about how to overcome change in our life and how to tackle this change. And when speaking about the experience of collaborating and writing this article, so first thing what I did, I also checked what GPT means, because I was also using just ChatGPT. So I had to check what GPT really means. And what really struck me was that our collaboration was very structured. And even if we are spread across the world, we made use of digital tools. We had virtual meetings. I have learned also a new tools to be used, like Easy Retro, Perplexity.ai, and probably many others. And also from the article, actually, I could find out that the president of Microsoft, that May you are so fond of, is actually a woman. So that was also very inspiring. So great collaboration with fabulous ladies from all over the world. That was my experience. Thank you.
Beautiful. Really had to. That's the word from Johara. May I know.
Okay, I couldn't hear a thing Grace saying, but Grace definitely said we are amazing.
Yeah, it's for you, May. I will take it over, Grace. Yeah,
You're
Grace,
amazing.
You're coming out robotics. So it's over to me now about your experience.
We are all amazing. We are all incredible, smart, and we are remarkable. So I know a lot of people may feel you are not in the AI field. Nobody's in the AI field until you step in. When you step in, you realize the sky is no limit. And we are very lucky, because when I was in the World Wide Web, that is not my era. Now in the AI era. You are in the AI era. You make a decision how involved you want to be. And join us. Join the Woman Power Group. We are empowering you. Empowered woman is going to empower other women. And please have faith in this group. And maybe we are small but mighty, right? So let's do it together. And I am going to run, but I can't wait to see you all in Los Angeles and Global Summit, okay?
Thank you, May.
Thank you, ladies.
Is Grace back?
Bye.
Okay. Grace is back. So maybe we
Hear
should
me?
ask.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. Yeah, go ahead, Grace.
Okay. Just to wrap up also, ladies, Rushali and then Johara and Alice, just give us your aha moment when you're ready.
Yeah, you're still sounding robotic, but I got the question. I'll take it forward. Over to you, Johara, to share your experience on this collaboration.
I was telling Cecilia before we started that I study AI, but in a very different perspective. It was more of a technological induction for me. You know, I wanted to learn, like Anita said, about how ChatGPT work, how can that help me? I started using it. I have a cooking channel, very different from AI, but I started using AI applications so then it will help me with my cooking channel. And then I started getting more, comfortable. When I got here, I'm like, okay, I have to learn about AI, but with DEI. What is this? I needed to get into the same level like all these women were Anita and Rushali and Alice and Cecilia and Grace, and everybody was just in a different level. And I felt like, oh my God, I need to read. I was telling them that I read more than 1,000 pages because I didn't really know about AI and DEI. I knew about AI in a different level. And the only thing I wanted to say, guys, is be fearless of the unknown. And I wrote it on the chat. We're in a technological age where we need to be fearless, where we're really empowered of doing anything we wanted to. The only limit is yourself. And don't be a limit of yourself. open it up, embrace the change, and please take somebody else and put it in the safe place as you are and take it with you in your journey, because that's where we start getting more people involved. And then we start getting more power with everything that we do, especially women, especially the underprivileged, especially the people that don't have access to it. Embrace them and take it with you in your journey. And I thank you guys because you took me in this journey. And I appreciate all of that. And thank you very much.
Okay, Grace, are you back? All right.
I
she's
am
frozen.
back. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for
Again.
standing for me. Really, thank you so much, Yohara. That was such an inspiring story. Okay.
Okay.
Alice,
again,
over to you. Your
Alice,
aha
over to you.
moment.
Yeah.
Yes, it has been an absolute pleasure working with all the ladies. I think for me, the aha moment has been around, we have the power. We are in positions where we can actually definitely make a change. Someone mentioned that, for a while now, we've been talking about women equality, and it's because so many things left us behind. Now we are at the beginning of something new. We have the opportunity to start with everyone else. And the women that are involved in the AI revolution right now really have it upon themselves as a burden to bring every other woman along with them. One of the other things that really touched me was on the accessibility. One of the areas that personally I struggled with was, of course, seeing how AI now brings opportunities for people like my father, who is now completely blind. So how can we work with device manufacturers and the software developers to understand that, this person is blind 100%. They're not going to look at a smartphone and touch which buttons, as in how do you start bringing together those key stakeholders within this ecosystem to bring about a transformational change, because that improves someone's life completely. As and any value of life or any additions that they have to make towards this life, is gained back because of the artificial intelligence and how it has been deployed, how we elicited for the requirements, how we worked with the device manufacturers, how we listened to the differently abled, and we brought all that into an innovation that actually has real transformational power. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful, really beautiful. Thank you so much, Alice. Thank you, ladies, special, exceptional, intelligent, power ladies that are taking the world by storm. At this point, I think Fanny on the call.
Grace, you are again sounding very robotic. So I think Brushali is pending.
Okay.
So we will ask Brushali to share her aha moment. Yeah.
Okay,
Brushali, go ahead.
Yeah. Hi. First of all, I would like to thank everyone on the panel, Alejandra, Priya ma'am, Cecilia, everybody, to giving me this chance. Particularly when I was brainstorming on the topic AI and DI, I got to know that not only youngers, but elders also transforming a lot with the technology. They're using the technology wisely. In fact, uh, even in my home, my parents are now started using the Alexa for toggling their mobile screens, for toggling many applications they use. So that is one of the very good aspect of that the genders or generations are also evolving along with the technology. And secondly, I got to know various personalities while searching on this topic. I got to know what my country is doing on this particular area, AI and DI, and very a very perfect statement which our government is putting, that by the end of the decade we will be a complete AI delivered economy, and that's a great thing which will be happening It will give a chance to youngers as well as olders, farmers. Every part of the society will get benefited with AI and DI. And yes, it was a wonderful journey. Of my very first experience as authoring a newsletter, authoring an article. And yes, it has given me many insights, and I'll surely deploy all those insights in my upcoming endeavors. Thank you, all the women on this panel. Thank you, everyone.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Very much.
Yeah,
Grace, are you back?
I'm back, but
Okay.
I can hand over to you.
Okay,
From
thank
here,
you.
you can take it up from here, Priya.
Thank you very much. And
Thank you,
now,
ladies.
yeah, thank you very much, Grace, for that wonderful moderation. We learned a lot about AI and DNEI. It's not about only generation, which I keep telling every time. It is about differently abled, indigenous community, as well as different generations. Now it's time to hand over the stage to Shivantika to
Excuse
hand over
me.
the certificates.
I think
s-
we have one question. We have one
Yes.
question in the chat box.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
someone
fine. We'll take the question. Let's finish this section. So Shivantika, you want to hand over while we ask people to post their questions on the chat so that we can collect all of them and have a discussion after handing over the certificates.
Thank you very much, Priya, for giving this opportunity to all the incredible ladies who are joining with us today, to sharing their knowledge, their experience, their invaluable thoughts on this fabulous gathering. I really appreciate all your commitment, all your engagement, and all the contribution. Hats off to all the ladies who are joining with us this fabulous event. So I would like to hand over the certificate of appreciation to Ms. Aldindra Nazar. Is she with us?
She just dropped, but we'll move on
Right.
to.
Okay, I'll move on to Anita Riskas. I'm sorry if I pronounce your name incorrectly.
It's
Anita
not your
is-
fault. Even I cannot pronounce it. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Anita. Yeah.
Thank you, Anita, for your contribution, and would like to deliver the certificate of appreciation to Elise Vora. Elise, are you with us? Yes. Thank you very much for your invaluable insights, sharing your knowledge and experience with us. So we'll next move on to the May Lynn. I think she is already left, but amazing. You nailed it, May. I really appreciate your contribution. So we'll move on to the Johara Salinas. Thank you, Johara, for your contribution, sharing your knowledge. We really appreciate. And we'll next move on to the Rishali Bhagwat. Thank you, Rishali. Really inspiring, your knowledge and your experience. We really appreciate. And we'll move on to next, Grace. Grace, unfortunately, I cannot see your face. I know that's because of the network issue, but you nailed it, Grace. So thank you very much for all the commitment and the support to make this event a successful one.
Thank you, Shivantika. Now we have one question on the chat, and if someone would want to take that. How can I bring more training to my community? And also I would like to learn more about AI usage to build my understanding of AI. Anyone wants to help here? Yohara, if you want to take a shot.
Sure. Alice just dropped a comment to the question as well.
Alice. Great. So Alice, you want to talk about it? Just unmute yourself and Alice, are you there? Oh, looks like no, Alice is also gone. So yes.
But I was gonna say the same thing as Alice wrote. There are so many things on online. LinkedIn is a very good source for free courses on the AI. So you could start there.
Where the communities would be able to fit in. There are WhatsApp groups that have been created in my organization for those that have interest in AI. And whoever wants to join those groups has really found it exciting to see who they can begin to speak to, what sort of questions people are asking, how it is impacting them personally. I found, those tools really, really helpful. Webinars such as these ones really help to broaden your understanding. And of course, like I would really take it back to Yohara. It's getting rid of the fear of the unknown and getting into it. So start by opening up a web browser, get into ChatGPT, and just begin exploring, experimenting, and you will have lots and lots of experiences to share with those around you. Thank you.
And be the leader. I wanted to add, be the leader. You can start getting all this knowledge at the same time with your community. If you know where to find them, make them available, make them known to your community so you could start, all of that as a community. You don't have to do it on your own.
At this point, I would like to ask Cecilia if she wants to add something here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Bruchali, go ahead. Yeah.
Adding to this entire piece, you reach out to the technology before technology reaches out to you is what I feel very important, because use of technology is every day we are doing. We just need to know the technical aspects, how betterly it can be used. Maybe a younger and older collaboration will help a lot. LinkedIn is the very best platform to reach out to the person. And yes, indeed, this panel is also one of the medium where ladies can have the reach to AI technology article, go through it. Brilliant things are there in that article. You would certainly get many of ways out.
Okay,
exactly.
Thank you. Anyone wants to add to this, Anita?
Just to add, my experience, I think the first time ChatGPT came out, okay, go ahead, Aneta.
I wanted to share that I am doing the courses that Project Management Institute offers. I just pasted the link. They are very informative, not only for project managers, I think for everyone. But also I would check Udemy platform for courses on artificial intelligence. And if you also Google like some artificial intelligence tools, just not to be afraid to start using them. One also thing that I found very insightful was not to think about AI tools that will make us lazy, but rather think how we can leverage AI tools to help us. So that would be my thought.
Okay. I will ask Cecilia to add now. Cecilia, over to you.
Okay,
your thoughts
thank
on
you.
this collaboration. And
hello,
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Bria. And I'm really, really glad. I'm really happy to be part of this project. I love this project. You guys have done a wonderful job. The article is so exciting and with many information, with everywhere, with the whole world. It's so amazing to have all of you in our team, Priya and me and all the whole team. We are so glad to begin this project this year, and this topic it's so relevant today. We have more articles, one article each month for the whole year. So I'm inviting all of you to be part of the following articles. We have this collaborative job for all of us. I learned a lot. I know we all learn a lot working in teams. So thank you, and congratulations for this first article. And in my experience with AI, I wrote some short article for the newsletter. She asked me to write about in the leaders talk. And what I told is that I studied AI in my university 40 years ago.
Oh.
Yes, 40 years ago, more than 40. 80, 81, 1980 or 1981, I don't remember. It was the last year of my career. And I learned Turing's machine and Lisp programming for AI. But at that time, I couldn't imagine what AI would be. The bloom that we have, the launch, incredible tools we have right now. So,
oh, she's back. Yeah. Hi, Cecilia.
Yes, I think I have a problem with my connection.
You had a problem. Yes.
Yeah, so I was saying that in that time I couldn't imagine the powerful tools we will have in this time. So it's amazing to analyze the impact AI have in our lives, in different aspects of our life. Good aspects, advantage and disadvantage too. So thank you all of you for participating in this article, and congratulations.
Yeah, thank you, Cecilia. So there is a question for the panelists, and we just have 1 minute. If you can quickly answer, do you think that AI will change the course of human services, and such how services are delivered to individuals in person or telehealth? I think Brushali already answered. If anyone else wants to answer, please go ahead. Anyone?
I would definitely try to shed a bit of perspective. Anything that has data reliance is going to be impacted by AI, no doubt. So if there is any trend that can be built, any models that can be built around what it is that you're currently doing, that is going to be impacted by AI. And from my experience, it's practically everything. We've seen even the creativity aspects have been impacted by AI. So there is no sector that is going to be not touched by AI. It's just going to be a question of to what extent that change will be realized. Is it going to be much sooner, or is it going to be much later, depending on how the models need to be trained, or how the models evolve in that specific sector? Thank you.
Okay, so I think we are coming to the end of the session now. We are just 1 minute over time, but thank you everyone for joining. Yes, love to participate in a panel. Who do I contact? Cecilia, please post the link on the chat window. Everyone is welcome. To participate as a panel, you will have to contribute to the article first, because that is a preparation to be coming on the panel. So you'll see the link on the chat window. Please do take the feedback and let us know what do you think, what else we can do to improve. And we'll be back again next month. The event will be on April 13th. Again, another topic, pressing topic on AI, and this time on sustainability. So watch this space for more, and we'll have again some amazing, inspiring ladies who are already working on that collaborative article, coming and sharing their experience with this. There's a link on the chat window. Please do submit your request. And with this, thank you. Bye. And before we go on, let's take a group picture. Everyone, whoever can open their videos, please do so that we can take. Possible to take a picture? Yeah. Oh, did you take it, Cecilia, or I will take now? You're on mute. You're on mute, Cecilia.
Yes, I took one, but when
Okay, wait, I will
the
take now.
picture-
I will take now. I will take now. Just hold on. For some reason, my mouse is also not working well today. It's a bad situation. It's not working. Hold on, ladies. I am trying to take the screenshot. Yes, I have it. Thank you very much. Who is this?
We've been posing.
Hi, I took it. Thank you. Bye. See you. Bye-bye. Bye.
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 Thank you,
Bye.
ladies.
Wonderful job.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.